Hello everyone, and welcome to Wind Slime, the tale of a wizard who was transformed into a slime and now has to make his way out of this mountainous region while using only a fraction of his former powers. It's a bit of a short game, so let's just get right in. And as the music picks up, taking on its dramatic orchestral approach, we begin the proper gameplay. We cannot jump, but as long as we're holding a crystal, we have some wind powers. However, before we get the crystal, we have nothing. And our wind powers are limited use. There's a mana bar, or rather mana spiral, above our head, and when that is exhausted, we must wait for our wind powers to regenerate. This limitation, of course, encourages thoughtful movement. Without the limitation, we could just fly throughout the entire stage. And we're about to be introduced to a new mechanic where we can root ourselves to the ground with the spacebar or controller button of your choice and move other objects around. This prevents us from being swung about by the wind while we're just trying to move a box. Move a box through, let's say, this spike labyrinth, for example. We can continue to move the object even when it's not on screen. And as for controlling the slime itself with the wind, our movement plays a factor in the momentum, and we can move the wind up, down, left, right, and diagonally in all the directions. It is very possible to play this, by the way, this black bar removes our wind powers. It is very possible to play this game as a pretty normal platformer, only using the wind's upward motion to jump from one location to another, but moving the wind diagonally along with the slime's body to fly really seems to be where it's at. You complete the game much faster that way, and the movement feels much more free and fluid if you take advantage of the diagonal possibilities. There is a little maze of brown stuff over here to the left. I don't know what it is. It doesn't seem to affect your slime's movement or the wind powers in any way. It could just be a different textured floor. Sometimes there's mud in the mountains, after all. So Wind Slime is a pretty simple 2D platformer with a simple gimmick, but it knows what it wants to do, and it's good at it. The controls are great, works fine both on keyboard and gamepad, and the way the wind movement interacts with the slime's movement makes for some great speedrunning capabilities. The game seems to actively encourage speedrunning. The developer's time, by the way, is so much better than mine. The music in this game, by the way, is originally composed, and I love it. I was honestly surprised at first by the decision to use an orchestral sounding score for this game, but I think it's appropriate. And the way the more serious variation of the track kicks in when you pick up your crystal is phenomenal. You know, you're moving around as the slime, and you're like, oh, this is a slime platforming game. And then you pick up the crystal, and the music really kicks in, as though the game's saying, now you're at the gameplay. You weren't at the gameplay yet, but now you understand. And that's it. That's the game. Just a few short levels and we're done. Nothing particularly challenging, but it does seem that the game encourages speedrunning. There's my time in the bottom right. That's Wind Slime.